Alright, you guys, welcome back to some more Cafe Stella. Last episode did not go quite as Kousei planned. He ended up asking Kanna out. They went to an amusement park. He tried to confess and pretty much got, shut down because she was like, hey, I'm a Grim Reaper. I'm not going to be around forever. That was a kind of a big revelation. I didn't know that about her. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then that was pretty much their date. Um, Not quite what they planned. Could have gone a lot better. There was just a lot of questions of, okay, well, if she felt this way, why didn't she tell him earlier? Instead of kind of leading him on, I guess. Just a lot of big questions like that I hope we'll get some answers to here soon. I kind of said in my closing remarks, like, hey, I wonder if this is like a hole in the relationship. Is this something they can patch? Is this something that they can end up making work in the end? So hopefully we'll get some answers to that. Probably not in this episode. I feel like that's going to be something we're going to see as we get a little bit further in. But who knows? We'll find out. Woke up a little earlier than usual today. As time passed, the cloud of unease in my chest took on a more distinct shape, picking at my heart like a thorn. As a result, I hadn't gotten much of a restful sleep. Even during the short bouts of sleep I did manage to get, I get the feeling my dreams were about the conversation we had on the Ferris wheel.
つまり死神というのは一時的な存在なんですよ。新たに生まれるための準備期間といったところでしょうか。
Why did I choose not to say anything back to her? I'm suddenly struck by a terrible gripping regret. The thorn in my heart shows no signs of being dislodged. I can't take this. I want to see Akazuki-san. I want to sit down and talk things out with her. I want to tell her how I feel, and I want to know how she feels. I'm really glad he does feel that way though. Like he wants to have some resolution to this because he feels like, hey, I didn't even get to confess. You didn't even get to deny my feelings. You pretty much just put this barrier up, and that's not really fair to him.
おはよう。さあ、今日と明日は忙しくなるよ。昨日はちゃんとリフレッシュできた？
Not as relaxing as we might have hoped. Certainly brought more stress than it needed to. Certainly did enjoy my day off, but at the same time it feels like I have more in my mind now. Well, regardless, it's time to put those worries aside and focus on my
お
job.
はようございます。おはよう。高峰さんもおはようございます。
Yeah, good morning.
今日はいろいろ忙しくなりそうですけど、頑張りましょうね。
I love the way he's just nonchalant. It's like, yeah, good morning, I guess.
私も練習はしましたけど、もし不手際があった場合は助けてもらえると助かります。
Sure, although I might end up being the one asking you for help instead.
それじゃあ始めましょうか。
Oh, yeah. A little awkward, but...
できた。
Akazuki-san and I have done our best to help, but we have no choice but to have the finishing touches, or to leave the finishing touches to Suzune-san. Making the Yule logs look like the actual wooden logs is something only a real pastry chef can do.
お疲れ様です。はあ、手首ぶっ壊れそう。いつもより神経使った。
Yeah, I'm not surprised you've had to prepare all these Yule logs on top of your regular cakes. And I feel like with these cakes, there would be a lot of little attention to detail, just because I feel like she's very, anal about that. And so I can only imagine, having to, get it in just the right spot. Gosh, that would probably leave you hurting afterwards.
さすがに数は減らしてるけど、やっぱ大変だわ。
Why don't you go take a break? You're going to be making more cakes in the afternoon, aren't you? The kitchen won't start getting busy until a while after we open, so you should rest now while you can.
そう。ならお言葉に甘えて、あとよろしく。
I feel like he's just trying to get Suzune out of the room so he can talk to Kanna.
ひとまずお疲れ様でした。
Alright, thanks for helping
こ
out.
の後片付けはお任せしてもいいですか？私はフロアの準備に。
Yeah, sure, I'll be fine. Akazuki-san wears the same cheerful smile as usual as she leaves the kitchen. It's difficult to tell what she's thinking on the inside, though. Can't focus at all. Spent so much time agonizing and brooding over what happened yesterday. Yet when I came face to face with Akazuki-san again, I felt my heart flutter just from chatting with her. Chiki-san, what are you doing hiding like that?
いや、どう声をかければいいのか少し考えてて。
Are you trying to confess your feelings to me? I can at least tell you what happened. You deserve that for how much you've helped me. The date yesterday went went well more or less. It's just that my confession didn't go according to plan.
私の目から見ても無謀だとは思わなかったけど。
Well, I thought things were going pretty well too, but I couldn't confess to
勇
her.
気が出なかった？
Not quite. We got to a point where I was about to say it, but she preemptively stopped me. Basically, she said it wouldn't work out because she's a Grim Reaper.
それは死神のことを持ち出されると気軽には口を挟めない。
I know, I hate when my girlfriend tells me she's a Grim Reaper and that I can't confess to her. It's the worst. Appreciate the concern, but honestly, there's no need to walk on eggshells around me. My feelings aren't actually hurt. It's more like she dodged the confession instead of rejecting it. Yeah, that's what makes me think that she feels the same way too, but she doesn't want to acknowledge that because that's going to cause her problems. Like she doesn't want to end up hurting him in the end when eventually she disappears and they can't be together. And that's how she feels. Not really sure where to take things from here.
そうでしょうね。
Anyways, that's what's happened. But there's something else I want to ask you. As a girl, what do you think about guys who are too pushy?
誰かに好きって言われるのは悪い気はしないと思う。
It is funny that you say that, Natsume, because I feel like Kousei ended up being his usual perverted self, and Natsume was a little bit perverted back, so it ended up working out just fine. That's what I thought.
嫌いな相手に何度も言い寄られるのはうざいけど。
That is also true. That's very accurate. Very valid of you to feel that way.
そこら辺は言う方と言われる方の関係性とか性格にもよるからはっきりとは答えられないかな。
I feel like with Kanna, it's not a matter of like, oh, please go out with me, you know, I don't care, whatever. I feel like he's gonna have to do some kind of big romantic gesture to like really show her that like he cares about her deeply, and like even if like one day maybe she's gonna get reincarnated and their love can't be, that like, hey, he cares for her. And maybe what will end up happening, I don't know if they'll go this route, but she could get reincarnated and he can go find her. Maybe they'll end the route like that or something. I don't know, just a guess. But that's alright, I just wanted to hear your opinion. I don't think my mind would have changed either way.
でもいいんじゃない？高峰くんが諦めの悪い男なのは秋月さんだって分かってるだろうから。
That is true. This guy does not give up. He does not drop things very lightly. Am I really that stubborn of a person?
そりゃそうでしょう。未練を残したまま死にたくなくて世界を巻き込んでまでやり直す男のくせに。
You're not wrong. He quite literally turned back time. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Shiki-san. You raised a good point. I don't know when to quit, and I'm not about to start now.
けどストーカーで逮捕っていうのは勘弁だからね。
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Well, let me know when you think I should hit the brakes.
いらっしゃいませ。店内ですか？はい、奥のソファー席へどう。クリスマスケーキのご予約はされてますか？太田様。はい、ブッシュドノエルを2本ですね。ご用意してあります。ご注文はお決まりでしょうか？2750円ですので250円のお返しです。ありがとうございました。またのお越しをお待ちしております。
As we expected, there are a ton of customers today. There always is. We're always busy. We're always popping off. We're the #1 cafe around. Perhaps due to our cafe's popularity among women, there are quite a number of girl get-togethers alongside the usual Christmas couples. Our cakes are selling well, too. The display is practically empty by now. Although a number of people had called to cancel their advance orders, the Yule logs they left unclaimed had also sold easily, which meant that they didn't have to go to waste. Yeah, that's kind of a nice thing. It's like it's not a big deal if they cancel. Should we bake some more? We'd be able to sell them all by the end of the day anyways, I bet.
調子に乗って作った時には売れないってのが商売あるあるなんだよ。
Yep, should have got here earlier, guys.
今のうちに休憩入ったら？
Oh yeah, I'd better do that. Instead of heading straight to the break room, however, I'd take a peek to the dining floor.
お待たせしました。ブレンドコーヒーとダージリンです。ごゆっくりお過ごしください。
どうした？
Oh no, I just want to see how things were going. I'm about to take my break.
そうか。何か飲み物を入れるか？
Nah, I'm okay. There's something I want to ask you, though.
なんだ
If hypothetically speaking, a human and a Grim Reaper were to get into a relationship, would that cause some sort of problem? Would God punish them for something like that?
場所を変えるかすまんがしばらく頼めるか少し休憩だ
はい、了解です。
Mikudo's like, this one we gotta sit down for, my guy.
さてようやく気が抜ける
Does being in human form tire you out that
長時
much?
間だとさすがになそれよりもお前が聞きたいのはそんなことではあるまい
No, it
死
isn't.
神がどういう存在なのかはカンナから聞いたのだな
She said it was a transitional phase for butterflies to regain their will to live and prepare for
で
reincarnation.
は簡潔に答えよう人と死神が恋仲に落ちたことで罰が下るということはない
Okay, so this is kind of why Mikudo hasn't stopped her. Like, hey, there really is nothing against it. It's probably not a good idea, but
恋という気持ちは生きる理由としては強い目的になるからな神も禁じているわけではない
okay, so God wouldn't forbid it. Okay, I mean that's good for us.
だからお前は普通に振られた
Oh,
という
really?
わけだ
Okay, so there's literally nothing against Grim Reapers and humans getting together. Like, to me, he's saying like, hey, like if a Grim Reaper found happiness, like they could do what I said earlier, and just not get reincarnated.
そんな質問をすれば誰だって気がつく
So, why would she deny our confession though? Did she really like? She just really wasn't sure like how to deal with that. Is there
それに
something else going
カン
on?
ナの様子がおかしかったからな簡単には話を聞いている
I'm getting very mixed. I'm getting very mixed signals. If there is nothing against it, like if God has nothing against it, Grim Reapers, there's no problem. Because she told Mikudo, well, okay, well she didn't really tell him directly, but she, when she was in her bed, she was like, oh, I wouldn't mind if it was a date. Like she was happy about that, and then when it seemed like once she got to the date, like she just kind of brushed it off and didn't act like it was going to be a date or anything, and then was kind of surprised when he thought of it that way. It was just a very odd interaction on her part. I'm trying to understand why she would do that. Well, seeing as you knew and from the way you answered me just now, I take it
我
you.
が輩は口を挟むつもりはないそして神のことも関係ない
God literally wants us to have a Grim Reaper waifu. Like he's blessing us. He's just raining down blessings on us.
カンナにはカンナの気持ちがあってのことだろ
But yes, this is what confuses me because from her interactions when she was kind of with Mikudo and trying to go to bed versus how she actually acted around us was just completely different. I think she just doesn't like me.
そういう確認は本人にするのだな
Freaking, I'm trying, but it's hard when we work every day.
口を挟むつもりはないと言っただろうキューピッドを気取るつもりもない惚れた腫れたは自分たちで解決するしかない
I do understand, like I've mentioned in the past, like I wish this game would have covered a little bit of different times of the year. Like we're very focused on Christmas and kind of New Year's, and then Valentine's Day and White Day. But I see why they did that, because those are days that we would have time off or that we'd have some kind of special event, going on. There's not a lot of other days during the year that we'd probably get days off to where we could have multiple days of events going on and go on dates and things like that, right? But I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen here.
我が輩は仕事に戻るぞ閉店まで時間はあるまだお客が来ることを忘れるな
I know, I'll get back to it once I take a breather.
ごちそうさまでした。また寄らせてもらいます。
ありがとうございます。心よりお待ちしております。これで今日は閉店ですね。表の看板しまいましょうか。私が行ってきます。
Whenever I found the opportunity to do so, I would sneak a glance towards Akazuki-san. Shiki-san had warned me about this. I really do feel like kind of a stalker. Nevertheless, I can't keep my eyes from wandering towards her. Good job today.
はい、お疲れ様でした。予想はしてましたけど、本当にお客さんが多かったですね。
Yeah, I'm glad we managed to pull through.
私も一安心しました。でも、明日も忙しくなりそうですけど。
I don't really want to think about tomorrow right now. Gosh, yeah, it's gonna be busy again.
確かにそうかも。
Though Akazuki-san had seemed a little self-conscious this morning, she's now completely back to normal. Her movements were deft, and she hadn't gotten any orders wrong or anything less than perfectly polite to our customers. Even now, we're managing to hold a conversation with no awkwardness whatsoever.
高峰さん？
I just can't see her hating me. I'm just not being delusional either, so I hope.
高峰さん？
Oh, sorry, what is it?
もしかして私の声も聞こえないくらい卑猥な妄想にふけってたんですか？クリスマスイブ、それは聖夜ならぬ聖夜。あちらこちらのホテルも満室のやりまクリスマス。
Anna, only you think of this. Kousei never would think of that, and that's saying something for him. Only Kanna would say something like this. Your imagination truly is something to behold. You know it's bad when Kousei is looking at you and be like, wow, that's a lot to take in. You know, he's a little embarrassed by what you have to say.
私は普通です。
But you know what? That's why you guys belong together. Normal people don't go around using the phrase festive fornication.
私のことよりも高峰さんです。妄想じゃないとしたら、もしかして疲れました？
No, he wants to confess to you. He wants to know why you didn't even let him have the chance. Are you just embarrassed? Are you just shy?
あれだけ忙し
I
か
feel
っ
like
た
there's
ん
more
です。
to it than that.
それも仕方ありませんが、いやでもまさか高峰さん、ちょっといいですか？
Come with you where? Oh boy. What's going on here? Okay, she's doing this again.
また魂が衰弱しているかとも思いましたけど、杞憂だったみたいですね。
Gosh, this has got to be so hard for him too, because he has these feelings for her, and he's come to terms with them, and he wants to confess them, and then she keeps doing this like very intimate forehead thing. It must really kill him inside. Now, this is a necessary action, but if she truly did hate me, it's hard to imagine she'd be willing to come into what's virtually kissing distance with me.
あれから体の調子に異常はありませんか？
No, nothing in particular.
本当によかった。
Can't convince myself that the smile of hers is insincere either. Clear to me that she's genuinely worried about my well-being. I mean, is she just having one of those scenarios where she doesn't want to move the relationship ahead because it's gonna maybe not work out, and then it's gonna ruin this friendship between them, and then it's gonna end up causing Kousei problems with, you know, his soul and stuff? Like, maybe she's coming at it from that angle? I'm just trying to speculate still. But at the same time, it only further confuses me. I want to know more, I want clarity. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so conflicted. I can't stand it, can't accept it, can't make sense of it, and it's been eating at me all day long. So with that in mind, The music changed. That's how you know we're about to get something good.
はい。
Oh, he's just going for it, Kousei. Thank you.
急に何なんですか？何を言ってるんですか？
Kousei, I'm so proud of you right now. You just took initiative. You just threw it out there. Because it didn't seem like there was going to be a good opportunity. You not like me, Akazuki-san.
それはいや、なんと言い
From what I can see, there doesn't seem to be the case at all.
そりゃ嫌いだとは一言も言ってませんけど、どうしてそんなこと言っちゃうんですか？
I'm not... I'm sure you know what I wanted to say to you yesterday, but I'll say it again now. You let me lie on your lap, you put your forehead directly against mine. We've gone out, just the two of us, and we've even ridden a Ferris wheel together. Given everything we've done, I can't help but feel like we're more than just friends. If after all you were to tell me you never actually liked me, I doubt I'd be able to trust a woman ever again. Okay, Kousei, I don't want you to say that because that sounds like she's going to have to do it because that brings in her obligation as a Grim Reaper and she's trying to save your soul. So now you just said, "Hey, my soul's going to get way worse if you reject me right now." So that's I wouldn't say that. That's not too good. But anyways, I'd be traumatized even worse than Nono-Cocoon. In fact, I'd probably lose faith in women altogether and end up staying a virgin for the rest of my life.
そんな大げさな言い方で脅さないでください。卑怯ですよ。
Yeah, I feel like that would not be so good. I'm not trying to pressure you, I'm being serious. Was I just being a dumb virgin fooling myself into thinking you liked me? Am I really that bad at reading women? I want you to tell me your honest feelings, Akizuki-san. Do you like me?
それは好きか嫌いかの二択で言うなら好きですけど。
I like how she's just like, okay, well, I have to choose between one or another. Then yes, I do like you.
あ
She's
く
just
ま
like
で二
whispering.
択ならですよ。
But only if those are my two options. Why does it feel like you're being forced into this? Are you saying if you had more, you wouldn't like me? I really like you, Akizuki-san. In fact, I love you.
そんな何度も言わなくていいですから。
She is really fighting this, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm sure there's a reason. Like I don't think she's just being super shy. Like I've kind of thrown that out there, but I don't know. I just don't want to believe that. I love you as a woman.
なんでまた言ったんですか。
Kousei, okay, that means something else. Because it's taking every last bit of courage I have to confess to you. Now this comes to this, I'm not giving you the chance to pretend you didn't hear me. I love you. I love you. She blushes bright red, her eyes darting around erratically. But embarrassment doesn't seem to be the only thing keeping her silent. Rather, her eyes are downcast and her brow is furrowed as if she's completely at a loss for what to do. Does it bother you that I feel this way about you, Akizuki-san?
そんなことはありませんけど。気持ちは嬉しいですけれど、私ではダメなんです。
Okay, but we're trying to figure out why that is. Like, obviously there's something that's bothering you. There's some reason why you can't feel the same way back.
高峰さんにはちゃんと幸せになってほしいから。だからダメです。
That's exactly why I love you. I love you, Akizuki-san.
話ちゃんと聞いてくれてますか。
The reason you're saying no isn't because you hate me or dislike me, it's because you think it's the best for me. That obviously means you care about me. Isn't that proof you actually like
昨日
me?
も言ったじゃないですか。私は満足してるんです。
No. Natsume already said that. Natsume already said that she's satisfied in life. You're not allowed to pull the same card. Can't do it.
今みたいな生活をこのまま送り続けることはできないんです。
I know, I remember.
私は一緒にいられない。あなたを置いて消えちゃうんですよ。冗談でもありませんし、先の話でもありません。だから分かってくれますよね。
No, I don't. Either option would leave me sad. I'm enjoying this time we spend together right now too, but even putting aside my romantic feelings for you, you're an incredibly important person to me, Akizuki Kanna. If you're telling me I'm going to end up losing a precious friend regardless, I'll be devastated.
それ
Sure, parting ways with a friend might not be as sad as parting ways with a significant other, but either way, I'm going to be heartbroken twice. Well, once because you rejected me, and a second time because I'd have to say goodbye to you.
だからそうやって脅さないでください。脅迫なんて告白の方法としては下の下だと思うんですけど。
Okay, I agree with that, and the wording he used a little bit earlier, like I said, I did not agree with. But I do feel like he's really trying to convince her, like, hey, even if we only have a short time together, like, and if you feel the same way as I do about me, like, if you feel like you're in love with me and I'm in love with you, then we shouldn't let anything stand in the way of that. We shouldn't just say, okay, because we have such a short time that we can be together, that we shouldn't do this, right? I feel like he's really trying to convince her of that. Well, you have to understand, that's just how desperate I am. I can't tell you which one hurts more since I've never experienced both. But after last night, what I can tell you is that being rejected is incredibly painful. There's nothing I can do if you simply don't like me, but being rejected when you like me in return, I just can't accept that. Yeah, that's the thing that bothers him. He's just the fact that, like, she feels the same way, but won't say it. I want you to go out with me. I love you. If I don't tell you this now, I'm going to end up wondering for the rest of my life if I was right to back off, or if there was more I could have done.
でも一緒にいられる時間が。
I know, but that's exactly why I want you to go out with me. The time we have together may be short, but let me enjoy it with you to the fullest to ease the pain of our inevitable farewell. And in return, I'll work hard. I'll strive to make every day as amazing as possible, so you'll have no qualms about moving on to your next life. So please be my girlfriend.
本当ですか？
Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys.
楽しい思い出を作ったら笑ってくれますか？もし私が生まれ変わる時が来ても悲しみを吹き飛ばして笑っててくれますか？その先も笑い続けててくれますか？
I will say though, like, as much as like Kanna's like making this harder than it needs to be, like she genuinely seems like she's coming from this from the right place. Like she's doing it because she cares. She's not doing it to hurt him. She's not doing it to just deny him all these experiences. Like she really thinks that in her heart, like, hey, if I go out with him and and then I leave, it's really gonna damage him. And like she really wants to avoid that, but like slowly he's kind of working on her in this way. Like slowly he's trying to convince her, like, hey, you know, I'll try to be happy even after you're gone. Like, but let's just enjoy the little amount of time we have now. It's very interesting because they're both kind of in the right, in a way. Like Kanna's really trying to not hurt him, but like at the same time, Kousei wants to make the most of what time they do have. They both kind of have their reasons. So please let me share these memories with you.
勝手な人です。私の気持ちをこんなにも無視して迫るなんて。
But that's the thing. You're saying that you feel this way, and you do feel another way. So Kosei's kind of in the right to try to force some of those other feelings up to the surface, because I feel like she genuinely does want to be with him. She does want to date him, and it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a hard moral dilemma. Is it right to keep pushing her towards the thing that she kind of secretly wants, but at the same time she doesn't want because she feels like that's the wrong decision? I don't know. I keep going back and forth between what the right answer would be. I feel like for story purposes, of course, it's right that they end up together. I feel like they should, but I don't know. Oh, I know I am. I'm the sort of guy who'd rewind time itself to get what I want, after all.
胸を張ってなんてことを言ってるんですか？
I don't know. I think it's kind of funny that they mentioned that a lot. It's like this dude literally rewinded time. She laughs, half in resignation but somewhat happily as well. Now I want to hear how you really feel about me, Akazuki-san.
好きですよ。
Why did you write that like a question?
好き。
Huh? What was that? I didn't hear you.
からかって楽しんでますね。
I just want to hear you say it
それは
clearly.
でも恥ずかしいです。
It's embarrassing for me too, but I can say it because I really mean it. I love you, Kanna. I don't know. He's also said it a lot more than she has so far.
もうわかりました。好きです。あなたのことが好きですよ。
There it is, boys. That's what we play these games for. I don't play for the H scenes. I don't play for the comedy. I play it for the wholesome love story. That's what we're all about here. That's what my channel's about.
これでいいですか？
Yes, very happy.
絶対からかってます。
I'm not. I genuinely am happy. This is the greatest feeling in the world. I mean it.
まあそれならいいんですけど。
What about you? I love you, Kanna. Doesn't hearing that makes you happy? Doesn't that make you happy too?
何言ってるんですか？もう最高の気分ですよ。
I think that went well.
すみませんでした。片付けの最中に抜け出してしまって。
Yeah, we were making out in the utility closet and things started getting a little heated. I said we should probably bring that back to the, to our rooms or whatever. So sorry about that. We'll help clean up real quick.
いえ、平気ですよ。片付けくらい私たちだけでもできますから。
Sorry, we didn't mean to skip out on work, but something important came up.
いいのいいの。全然いいの。そうだよね。大事な要件だよね。
Those of me, why are you saying it like that? Why are y'all getting so embarrassed? What's up with these two? They're not mad or something, are they?
単純にどう目を合わせていいのかわからないんでしょ。
Yeah, they know what you did in the
なぜ
closet.
わからないんですか？そりゃそうでしょう。俺はカンナのことが好きだ。
Somebody overheard the conversation.
好きです。あなたのことが好きですよ。なんでも何も。あれだけ大きな声で叫ばれちゃうね。聞き耳を立てなくても聞こえるよ。むしろ聞かせたいのかと思ってた。
Azune is just like not covering it up, not pretending she didn't hear anything. Just like, yeah, I heard the whole freaking thing, guys. Come on. Given how frantic I was, I get the feeling I yelled pretty loudly.
あ、お祝いに特大のケーキでも作ってあげるよ。交際記念のチョコプレートもつけて。
Nice. Thanks, I think we'll pass. Your baking skills will probably be put to better use elsewhere.
キスって
Freaking May?
どんな感じでした？どんな味でした？
What did it taste like? We haven't kissed yet.
ねえねえ、いつから昴生君ってばカンナさんのこと好きだったの？
From the moment I met her. That would be the only acceptable answer. Or I knew it, I guess.
細かく説明しなくていいですから、そういうの。何にせよ、おめでとう。
I love how Kanna is like incredibly embarrassed about the whole thing. Like she just doesn't want to talk about it. She didn't even want to talk about it with him, let alone anybody else.
そうですね。まずはおめでとうございますですよね。おめでとうございます。おめでとう。ありがとうございます。
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, the secret of my new relationship with Akazuki-san was exposed within minutes. It was a little embarrassing, but in all honesty, this may have been a blessing in disguise. Now we won't have to show restraint while at the cafe. Okay, well you should. I mean, nobody wants to see your PDA, but...
カフェステラと死神の蝶。
Is he releasing a butterfly every time he has these dreams? Or is he seeing this butterfly in his dream? I immediately realized this is a dream. The strange thing is how quickly I realized it. I'm in a room I've never seen before. In the corner of the room is a young child, alone and hugging her knees to her chest.
どこにいたの？
Is this supposed to be about Kanna? Is this why we keep seeing these recurring dreams? These are supposed to be about Kanna. Looks like a room in somebody's apartment. So, they've said before that, like, the scenery keeps changing in these. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Are they implying that Kanna's been reincarnated multiple times? Not something like that, right? I'm just trying to think here. The sink is piled high with dishes, bulging bags of trash lay scattered about, and the room is littered with various plastic wrappers. The child murmurs to herself in a sorrowful, helpless tone. There's no strength in her voice. On top of a nearby table is a note that simply reads, "I'm sorry. This girl has been abandoned." Yeah, maybe not reincarnated multiple times, but it seems like her parents weren't there for her. Because they said the child is a her, so I'm assuming this is Kanna. I awake in my own bed as usual. It was the same weird dream again. Not exactly the same. The room, the child's face, and the situation have all been different each time. Okay, hold up. Let me read that better. The room, the child's face, and the situation have all been different each time. So maybe I am right? Like, she had been reincarnated multiple times? So the room, the child's face. So she looked a little bit different each time. The situation a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn more. That's kind of where I'm going towards, though. Like, she is being reincarnated. I didn't know why I've been having these dreams, but I have a theory.
そしてとある仕事に就き、いろんな人の人生に触れ、それらを通して人や世界への興味や執着を取り戻す。つまり死神というのは一時的な存在なんですよ。新たに生まれるための準備期間。
I recall the conversation we had in the Ferris wheel. Were these Akazuki's memories from butterflies? So, wait, okay, I need to keep reading. While I have no proof, there's the only explanation I can think of. The timing of these dreams was too coincidental. All three had occurred on days which Akatsuki-san had put her forehead to mine in order to check on the condition of my soul. Perhaps as that was what had caused them. In my dreams, there was always a single child. Their parents were nowhere to be seen. Even so, the children called out for them, yearning for their love. But if they're now butterflies, that would mean they're no longer here. So, I'm thinking either that's like past lives for her. So maybe she's been reincarnated multiple times. That'd be interesting. Or if what he's saying is that these are butterflies that she's captured, and like these are different children. Though my situation isn't exactly the same, I can understand their feelings to some extent. My mother was very ill, so I spent much of my childhood alone while she was hospitalized. My father too had spent most of his time working abroad. The Sumizomis took good care of me in their stead, to which I was extremely grateful. Nevertheless, deep down, what I really wanted was... No, I should stop. There's no point in thinking about this. I wouldn't be able to do anything for them anyways. First of all, my confession to Akizuki-san had nothing to do with butterflies. I confessed to her because I loved her. What I should be focusing on is what I promised her yesterday. That I'd make each day we had together as fulfilling as possible, make her smile. No one else can make her happy. As a person she loves, this is something only I could do. Good morning.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Hey, Akizuki-san.
Akizuki-san? Hiyottemasu?
What are you, scared, punk? Call me by my first name. Do it. Good morning, Kanna.
Ohayo gozaimasu, Kousei-san.
I'm surprised by that. She's actually like very upfront about using their first names, and she's not embarrassed by it at all. Intimate, yet not quite. It's a complicated feeling, but I kind of like it. I love how Suzune-san's approach to all this now is that she's just like one of those people that's like, ugh, them again, all their PDA. Like, that's just her approach to it now. You don't need to be so pissy about it. Yeah, she's just so jealous. She's like, frickin', I don't got none of that. Weren't really, I mean, it's Kanna's fault for teasing me. Yeah, you bad boyfriend. You were the one poking fun at me for being scared to use your first name, weren't you? I was just saying it how it was. I wasn't actually scared, I was just... You better get to work. These cakes aren't gonna make themselves. That's an interesting nihihi. That's like an embarrassed one. We see glances at each other and Kanna flashes me an embarrassed smile. Seeing her guilty expression, I can't help but grin sheepishly at myself. You guys are so cute together. So cute. So cute. Alright, that's enough fooling around. Switching gears, we get to work. This has definitely been an interesting route so far. You can take another break if you need to. Yeah, don't get like carpal tunnel or something, that would suck. Now then, I should get these cakes in the fridge, clean them up, and get ready for... yeah, what's up? Being called by my first name really is embarrassing. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's just because my girlfriend is doing it. Oh gosh. She's gonna put terms and conditions in our relationship. Yep, here it is. Guidelines. She's probably gonna say something along the lines of like, hey, we need to keep her professional at work, and then so and so forth. Suzune-san might seriously get angry with us if we keep this up every day. I guess the most important rule should be to prioritize our jobs while at work, including our morning prep and after closing cleanup. I know we can both agree on that much, but is there anything else you'd like to add?
だから正直お付き合いってどうすればいいのか分かりません。となると毎日顔を合わせても恋人とは呼べないような時間になるかもしれません。なのでちゃんと2人だけの
Oh, okay.
恋人になれる時間を作りましょう。
Interesting. Yeah, that sounds good. I think that helped me focus more while I'm at work
じ
too.
ゃあ朝仕事を始める前に一緒の時間を作りましょうか。
Morning.
ご不満ですか？
Well, not per se, but honestly, I don't know if I can wake up any earlier than I actually do.
私のことが好きって言ったくせにその程度の気持ちだったんですか？
Okay, you're gonna play it like that, huh? Okay. Didn't think that she would say that.
けど
Wow, okay, she's a demanding girlfriend, I see. If I wake up any earlier than I do now, I'd be waking up before sunrise. I'm not sure I'd be able to fully enjoy our time together.
なんて冗談ですよ。
Gosh. Is Kanna secretly like one of those like crazy girlfriends?
正直早起きするのは私も辛いですからね。やっぱり閉店後の方がいいですよね。
Yeah, that would be best.
もちろん。
Alright, any other rules we should decide on?
そうですね。2人で過ごす中で今後もいろいろとあるでしょうから、その場その場で話し合いましょう。
Okay, that was scary. I'm like, dang, Kanna really wants to spend time with us. Yeah, have a good night,
クリ
guys.
スマスシーズンって本当に大変なんだね。目が回った。なんとか無事に乗り切れたね。ケーキもたくさん売れて、お客さんも喜んでくれたみたいで、お疲れ様。のぞみちゃんもお疲れ様。はぁ。って気を抜く前に片付けちゃわないと。
Honestly, by the point of the game we're like so far away from like Nozomi and Mei's routes. It's just like, man, I forget that you guys are like in this game sometimes. Like they become such side characters. I feel so bad.
はいはい、その前に。
I feel like Suzune is pretty much like a staple character in any route. That's why I'm kind of disappointed they made her a side character, because it's like she's literally like important no matter which route you're in. She's always doing something with cakes.
どうしたんですか、そのケーキ。
Maybe cakes are just way too important in this game. Maybe we put way too much emphasis on them.
売れ残りじゃないですよね。私確認しましたから。これは私たちの分だよ。
せっかくだから私たちもクリスマスの気分ぐらいは味わわないと。
いいんですか？
That
そ
sounds
の
good.
ために作ったんだもん、これは。
Yeah, they act like it's such a big deal that she makes them one cake for them.
でも勝手にお店の材料を使うと怒られるんじゃ。
It's literally a holiday. Mikado will understand. You probably signed off on it already
た
anyways.
まにはいいだろ
やった
う。私は帳簿をつけてくる。あまり騒ぎすぎないようにな。遅くなるとご家族も心配するだろうから。
ー。帝さんは参加しないんですか？
甘いものは苦手だ。私のことは気にせずに楽しんでくれていい。
そうですか。じゃあ楽しませてもらいますね。
って言っても片付けもあるからそんなに長くはできないけど。
Yeah, it's Christmas. We'll be fine.
それにクリスマスを2人で過ごしたい勢もいるだろうしね。
そうそう。
Yeah, sure.
そうでしたね。お邪魔しちゃ悪いもんね。
That's okay. You don't have to.
はいはい、そういう上トークはいいから。
そうだよ、昴生君。こういう場合は正直に言った方がいいと思うな。
I'd rather Kousei not be upfront about his desires, but okay.
素直になりたまえよ、先輩。
I'm not saying there isn't a time and a place to discuss those things, but if you start egging him on, he'll be very aggressive. He's like a cat in heat. Well, obviously we'd like to spend some time alone, but we've already made those
意
arrangements.
外と抜け目ないな。そこら辺はあまり気にしないでいいですから。今はみんなでケーキを食べましょう。じゃあお言葉に甘えてメリークリスマス。
Oh, Merry Christmas, guys. It's not even close to Christmas though. It's just about summertime when I'm playing this. After we finish our Christmas cake and close up shop, Kanna and I decide to pass the time up in her room. Are you sure you just want to hang out in your room?
はい。さすがにこんな時間から空いてるお店もないでしょうから。それに花金のクリスマスですからね。どこもいっぱいですよ。
Thank God it's Friday, Christmas. Interesting. Yep. I think anybody who's around for the Katy Perry song would probably know that already. You really do talk like a boomer, Kanna.
いいじゃないですか。伝われば。実際昴生さんだって分かってくれたじゃないですか。
Took me a second though. Yeah, it's a TGIF Christmas. I'm sure everyone's out there celebrating the end of the work week, so it'll probably be crowded everywhere we go.
またそうやってバカにして。
Honestly, my wife asked the same thing like before we got married. She's like, "Hey, why are you always making fun of me?" I'm like, "Because I love you. What do you mean?" Like, if I'm not making fun of you, obviously I don't love you. No, it does kind of have a nice ring to it. TGIF
もう
Christmas.
いいです。私だってもうスマホを手に入れたんです。いつまでもバブルの女、バブルガールだと思ってたら大間違いですから。
Oh gosh, you guys know what this means though. She's gonna learn a bunch of lingo. She's gonna be like, "It's lit, fam." On fleek. Frick, do people still say fleek? Am I the boomer here? Am I the boomer? Come on, I never called you out of touch. But speaking of which, how's the phone going for you? Any problems?
特には。と言っても私の場合は使い方も限られてますから。あ、でも買ったことは後悔はしてませんよ。写真を撮るのも楽しいですから。
Oh yeah, I noticed you're using it today to take pictures of cake Suzune-san made for
見
us.
ます？ほら、これとかどうですか？結構綺麗に撮れたと思うんです。
You're right, it looks delicious. The two of us huddled together to look at our phone screen. Compared to lying on our lap and putting our foreheads together, standing shoulder to shoulder isn't anything special. Still, it gets my heart rate soaring. I really like this photo. The timing of this shot is pretty amazing.
私も日々進歩している証です。
The photo of the simple Christmas party we held at the cafe earlier. Everyone is eating a slice of cake with huge smiles on their
楽し
faces.
かったですね。ケーキも美味しかったですし。
Yeah, it was great. This is the first Christmas I've ever spent like that. I'm not lying. The smile I have on my face in the photo is so wide it surprised
今ま
even
で
me.
はどんなクリスマスだったんですか？
Well, when I was a kid, I'd either celebrate it at Nozomi's house or on my own. These days, I guess I just celebrate with other guy friends, which is still pretty fun in its own way. But because of that, truth be told, I have no idea how I should celebrate Christmas with a girlfriend.
私もどう過ごせばいいのかよくわかりませんけど、
And that's perfectly fine. It's okay if you guys don't know. You'll figure it out.
今の私たちにできることでいいんじゃないですか？他の人たちの真似をしなくても。
Yeah, make your own tradition. Well, I guess you're right. This is only our second day of dating. After all, it wouldn't make sense to compare ourselves to other couples.
そうですよ。他のカップルに合わせたりしたら。
Oh gosh, she's thinking about the festive fornication again. You're thinking about something sexual, were you?
エロいことなんて考えてなくはないかもしれません。
It's so weird having Kousei not be the overly sexual one in the relationship at the moment.
私
So
たち
strange.
恋人ですから。
Yeah, we are. It's only natural to think about those sort of things when you start dating someone. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't having those thoughts either. Just by watching her, my heart rate, which has only begun to settle down, starts to throb with intensity once more. Urged forward by the pounding in my chest is slowly bringing my face closer to Kanna's. Oh, he's trying to go for a kiss, but she's like, nah. You don't want to?
そうですね。お茶を濁さずちゃんと話すべきですね。
You don't discuss a kiss. What do you mean? I know her voice sounded pretty serious. I feel my back unconsciously straightening
さ
up.
っきも言った。なんというか私はきっと怖いんだと思います。
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, you guys can talk about like sex is a different thing. Like I think kiss, you shouldn't think about a kiss too much. Like it should just happen. But like sex, okay, yeah, that's something you can definitely talk about because that is important. Like there's a lot that goes into sex. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's something that feels good and brings you closer to the other person. But you have to think about like, hey, Make sure you don't get pregnant. You know, that's kind of important. Because I'm sure 2 days into dating, they don't want a kid. I would really hope not. Understandable, it's not easy for
い
girls.
え、そういうことではなく、何と言えばいいのか。
Yeah, and then it's also just important that like they both feel comfortable too, and like know like, hey, do we want to have sex? Like, are we waiting for marriage? Um, you know, kind of how far do we want this to go? Just make sure you're both as comfortable
昴
as
生さん
possible.
に笑顔でいてほしいです。付き合っている間も一緒にいられなくなったとしても
Okay,
幸せに過ごしてほ
don't
しい。
bring that into it. Now you're just making it depressing. You think it won't be in my best
少
interest?
なくともいい思い出になるって自信はありません。私も処女なわけですし。
It's fine. I mean, I don't have any confidence in that area either. I'm still a virgin too, after all.
あ、別に気持ちよくなれないとかそういうことが言いたいわけではないんで。ただ初体験の失敗談なんて枚挙にいとまはないじゃないですか。
Yeah, I have heard that as well. Like for some people it hurts. Some people it's just not comfortable, and then it's always just generally a little awkward. Yeah, I'm sure we can find plenty of stories like that if you look for
だ
them.
からまあ、やっぱりうまく言えないんですけど、私という存在が昴生さんの中でどんな風に残るのか、それが心配なんです。単純に初体験が怖いって思いもなくはありませんけど。
I think for me, I come from it from the standpoint of like if you're gonna have sex with someone, it better be someone that you really trust very deeply. Like it should be someone that like, hey, if you're gonna be that vulnerable, if you're gonna be that much of a like in a compromised situation where you're kind of putting your feelings and your body out there, like you really better trust that person. You really better have like a good connection with them to where all these issues you're talking about, like you don't have to worry about them too much. Like you should feel like, hey, if you're like, hey, this is hurting me, like we need to stop, well, the other person should totally understand. The other person should be very accepting of that. So yeah, it is a good conversation to have. You definitely should understand how your partner feels about some of this stuff, probably before you even get into it. But yeah, at the end of the day, like you should just only be doing this kind of stuff with someone you like intimately trust like that. And that's just my opinion. Sort of, kind
ど
of.
っちなんですか？
I can't say I empathize with you completely, but I do at least understand where you're coming from. Basically, you're worried about the limited amount of time we have together. If it ends up being a bad experience, that could sully the memories of our time together that I'm left with after you're gone.
そうです。そう。
I don't think that's a reason not to do it, though. I mean, if both people really want to. Like, just because there's a chance it might be bad, I don't think that means you shouldn't try. And the answer's simple. We'll just make tons of happy memories. That way, even if there are a few unpleasant ones in the mix, I'll still be able to look back on them fondly. Still, I can understand why you'd feel anxious jumping straight into it. In that case, why don't we start with something like a picture of the two of us using your phone.
それはいいですね。撮りましょう撮りましょう。自撮りですよね。内側のカメラを起動させて腕を伸ばして、ほら、もっと体を寄せないと入りませんよ。
Right.
それじゃあ撮りますよ。はい。もしかしてこれもバブルですか？最近はチーズとか言わないんですか？
I don't even feel like that's a boomer thing. I feel like that's just like a generic thing. It's just like, okay, that's just what you say, right? Like everyone knows that. But no, I wouldn't say it's a boomer thing. To be honest, I don't get my picture taken very often. There might be other things people say, but I can't really think of anything else at the moment.
ならいいんです。
I feel like what I hear nowadays is people just say to smile. They're just like, okay, everybody smile, and then you take the picture.
今度こそ撮りますね。はい、チーズ。すっかり遅くなっちゃいましたね。明日もお店ですけど平気ですか？
Yeah, this guy will be fine. Don't worry about him. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to bed once I get back.
体を温かくして風邪をひかないように気をつけてくださいね。あと帰り道も気をつけてくださいね。
I will. Oh, I almost forgot. Thanks for the gloves. They're super warm.
はい。
Well then,
昴生さん？
he's going for the kiss, isn't he?
はい。
He's doing it. He's doing it. Yes? Not trying to bring up our discussion from earlier again. It would be our first kiss, so it's probably going to leave a pretty strong impression, I know. But since it's just a kiss, I don't think there's much risk of it going wrong or being an unpleasant experience, so pretty pleased. That's not too much to ask for my girlfriend, is it?
そこまで言うのでしたら、審議の結果、キスはギリギリセーフにして。
Why does she word it like that? Alright then, I take a step forward. Kanna blushes and averts her eyes, but she didn't take a step back or try to run away either.
キスってどんな感じなんでしょうか。
I don't feel like I should be surprised, but Kanna's been like, I don't know, just the way she acts is very different than I imagined. Like, yes, this actually is very on brand for Kanna, but I don't know. I guess I expected things to go a little bit differently, and it feels like, oh yeah, this is how Kanna would talk. Like, she's very she overanalyzes things, I feel like. She's very analytical.
そんな即答でそっけない。
I mean, we'll find out for ourselves either way.
それはそうなんですけど。
Probably not that big of a deal.
ですよね。言ってしまえば唇を合わせるだけですからね。
You've practically almost done it, because, I mean, you guys put your foreheads together. You're pretty close.
それだけのこと。
Kanna steals a few quick glances up at my face, looking nervous. She's downright adorable. Her blushing cheeks, her moist, upturned eyes, and above all, those juicy pink lips. He's always talking about her lips, man. He is so thirsty. Aw, there we go. There it is. It's nice. It's very romantic. I like it. I like how her dress is kind of like flowing in the wind. Cute. The moment our lips touch, her body twitches in surprise. I feel myself shudder involuntarily too. It's a strange feeling one I've never felt before. It's warm and incredibly soft. What's more, there's also the slightest hint of sweetness as well. So faint it almost could have been a smell, but not a taste. A muffled moan leaks through her lips. How are you supposed to breathe when you kiss? You can through your nose, or like if you're really going at it, you know, you can kind of take breaths in between. Do I just breathe through my nose? I don't want to snort all over her though. It might gross her out, and it's kind of embarrassing for me too. You really kind of have to lower your heart rate a little bit so you're not like breathing super hard, which is hard because like at the same time it's kind of like a magical thing, and you're like, yeah, your heart does kind of rate increases. I don't know. I've been married for quite a while now, and it's like sometimes still when I'm kissing my wife, it is still hard to breathe like that. I'm sure for some people like they don't have that problem, but I do. Shock of my first kiss and the lack of oxygen is making my mind go blank. But I do have asthma. I was like, why am I not remembering the name anymore of this and all? Gosh, wow, y'all were really sucking face, huh? At the end, Kanna gave up before me. As soon as our lips parted, we both gulped down lungfuls of air. Were you holding your breath? That's funny that they say that, because later, once you get super comfortable with each other, you actually like to breathe on each other. It's very, like, sensual. So it's almost something you want to do. You want to, like, breathe on them and have them feel your presence, I guess. Very interesting how, like, at the beginning of a relationship, you're like, oh, I don't want to breathe on them. I don't want to do this around them. And then as you get comfortable, you just start doing things like that. This felt so amazing that I didn't even care what I was doing. If I was doing it right. The sensation has surpassed all my expectations, swallowing me up completely. I don't think I've ever had that happen. Yeah, that would have been yeah. I didn't want our first kiss to taste like iron, so I've been cautious to avoid that. It was kind of amazing. What did you think? And she goes for it again. This time Kanna kisses me. Her tender lips feel incredible. She rubs her lips against mine assertively. I respond accordingly, all the while hugging her close. Okay, you lovebirds. Go get a room. Yeah, okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Though I'm left alone in front of the cafe now, the lingering afterglow of the kiss remains. Spacing out and unable to think clearly, my body feels hot enough to disregard the winter chill. Curious, I trace a finger around my lips. Ah, it's really not the same, not even close. I guess a kiss is only a kiss when two pairs of lips are involved. Yeah, you can't replicate that feeling for sure. Still feeling dazed, I stand rooted to the spot for a little while longer. Well,
カフェ
congratulations,
ステラ
Kousei.
と死神の蝶
You guys had your first kiss, and it was great. Things have been going well between me and Kanna. Well, that's good to hear. That's a good start for next video, because I'm going to end it here. We're about at the hour mark, so good episode. I'm glad they were able to talk through some things and get to a point where they both feel like they're comfortable now in their relationship, and there's still this lingering, okay, I'm going to disappear at some point. And so it's holding them back, I guess, from being really happy. Like they are happy and they're experiencing things together, but there's always that kind of like thorn in the side, you know? It's like a rose, it's got its thorns, right? And you're just like always getting stabbed by those while trying to enjoy the beauty of the rose. So I hope eventually we'll get some kind of resolution to that, where they feel like they can truly be comfortable because nothing's going to happen. She's not just going to disappear on them. I'm hoping we'll get to that point. That'll probably be something we'll see towards the end of the route, I would imagine. But anyways, guys, great episode. I'm glad they had their first kiss. I thought it was really good. It just kind of happened, and that's what I like. I like when kisses just kind of happen. Like, I don't like when they overthink it too much. I'm fine with them talking about sex and stuff. I think they really should. I was really glad they did that, because that's something I would do in real life, right? You definitely want to like have those discussions first. But I was glad the kiss kind of happened after that, and then it was just good. And then she kissed him back afterwards, and that was good too. It was good. Overall, I really liked it. Really happy with how that turned out. This is definitely shaping up after that initial hump that we had to get over of not being able to... He wasn't able to confess to her, and she was just like really trying to protect him. I'm glad they resolved all of that pretty well, I feel like, if they were going to go down that route. So I'm happy. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Have a great one.